The entire universe, the planet we live on, our hearts, our bodies, every living thing is composed of matter. Matter is composed of atoms. Atoms are composed of protons, electrons, neutrons. Protons, electrons, and neutrons are composed of quarks. Quarks are composed of magnetic fields. Everything on Earth is composed of magnetic fields, which gives it energy. The best example that I can illustrate to you, think of the ocean, the deep, massive body of water. Now imagine you are standing on the shore, you can see the waves. The waves are a manifestation of the energy produced by that larger body of water. And those waves are composed of energy in the body of water itself. That's like the entire universe. That is basically the fundamentals of quantum physics. But imagine if the energy was just a little off. Right now, we are in a structural headache, a disorganization public. The public is very disorganized, simply because the energy levels of the human species is just a fraction off. And what I mean by this is a lot of men today have bitch energy. They're acting more effeminate, just slightly more effeminate. Even men who think of themselves as alphas, as strong, tough men, actually have the thought processes of women. My grandpa was telling me that men used to not be interested in another man whatsoever. But what I'm finding out now more and more is that men are acting like women. You don't like this? I don't give a fuck. You can find somebody else's channel to listen to what you like. I was at a sporting event a few weeks ago. During the halftime of the game, I walked into the concession area, waited outside the restroom for the crowd to die down, right beside the garbage cans. As me and my friend were standing there, minding our own business on our phones, not paying much attention, there are two guys that walk right beside us. In the beginning, we just start joking with the guy. Like anybody else, he says, "What are you guys doing here?" So the first thing is, this dude is interested in another man. That's pretty fucking gay if you ask me. You're worried about why another man is standing in a certain area. But I played along. I tried to diffuse the tension. I joked, I said, "This is the designated waiting area, don't you see?" I said, "Don't you see those words up there?" And I kind of laughed. I was just joking, wanted him to shut up so we could just wait. The dude was clearly drunk. Next thing I know, the dude is going off, asking questions about who we're dating, what video games we play, things about our personal life. I don't say a word. I just stand there, let the dude talk. He's clearly drunk. I don't want to be banned from the arena. I like going to sporting events. This is my local team. This is my favorite team. I don't want to be banned for getting in a fight. But I'm just being straight. If we were on the street, I would have knocked this son of a bitch out. He would have been on a fucking stretcher. But I just tried to diffuse the situation. I tried to just let him ramble on. After he finally shut up, he came up to me and he shook my hand. I gripped his hand as hard as I can. I squeezed it. And I said, "Nice to meet you, man." And then he said, "My name is," whatever it was. I don't remember, don't care. Hope to never see him again. And I said, "I don't give a fuck what your name is, bro." I said, "You're a drunk son of a bitch." And he looked at me and I said, "If you come back up to me again, I'm going to tell that cop over there that you're drunk and get you kicked out of here." And I also said, "Dude, you're like a fucking woman. You're asking me questions that my grandma or my mom would ask me about my sex life, what video games I play. That's pretty fucking gay, bro." And I was just pretty mad, and the dude just stared at me. Then he walked off. His friend came up to me. He said, "I'm sorry about my friend." I said, "I would be sorry too if my friend was that fucking feminine." I said, "He thinks he's an alpha male, but he's acting like a female." And that's the problem. See, this dude thinks he's manly. He thinks he's tough. He thinks he's hard. But he's acting like a bitch. He has that bitch energy. There's another dude. Don't even know him at all. But you know you have those friends on Facebook that you went to high school with, you don't even know. But this dude comments on my post all the time, but he always is interested in my opinions, which is pretty fucking gay, if you ask me. But one of the times I said, "Dude, you must have a crush on me or something because you keep commenting on my post." He responded and he said, "Would you rather talk to Trump or Hillary?" And I said, "Neither." And then he said, he was trying to trap me. I got what he was doing. But he was trying to get me to say Trump. Then he was going to say, "See, you want attention from another man." I understood what he was going to do. I did not step into his trap. I grab the cheese, metaphorically speaking, I grabbed it without stepping into the trap. And then I responded, I said, "It's different if what someone is doing has some sort of impact on your life. What I post on Facebook has no impact over your life, but you're worried about what another grown-ass man does," which is pretty gay. You know, I don't get this, though. These dudes, I don't give a fuck what another grown man eats, what he watches, what he does. It's like, I don't care what he does because I'm not a fucking woman. I'm worried about myself. What can I do to get more food on the table? How to fix my car? How to become more aware? So on and so forth. So then this got me asking, their energy is slightly off. I mean, they still have beards. They still look like a man. They still have deeper voices than a woman. But they're acting like women. So think about if your heartbeat was a little off. The average person's heartbeat is 60 to 100 beats per minute. This gives you the ability to have your body at a comfortable 98.6 degrees Fahrenheit. It also enables your body to deliver nutrients and oxygen to the cells. It transports waste to the cells. It stops you from bleeding when you're wounded. It helps your immune system, and it also provides CO2, carbon dioxide. If your heartbeat was a little off, your temperature would be too high or too low. Your body would have trouble delivering oxygen to the cells. Your body would have trouble healing from wounds, and eventually you would die if it lasted too long. Just if the energy was a little off, slightly off. 1% off, 0.5% off, which would give you a headache. Society, metaphorically speaking, like the body, has a little bit of energy off, and they are in a structural headache. Now, the question I was thinking also is, what if Earth changes rotation on its axis? Right now, Earth is rotating at 23.4 degrees. What if it changed that to 25 degrees, less than 2%? The Earth's tilt gives us 4 seasons. It also divides Earth into 3 zones: temperate, tropical, and Arctic. The change may seem minimum, but the Tropic of Cancer is pushed northward, and Arctic Circle is pushed southward, both by 100 miles. Both the tropic and Arctic zones expand 100 miles. So the tropic, which is the warm zone, and the Arctic, which is the cold zone, would expand 100 miles. And the temperate zone, which is where most of us live in the United States, would shrink by 200 miles. The sun rises on the south and sets on the north. What used to be a north and south pole is now a west and east pole. If the Tropic of Cancer is moved to the north of the current Arctic Circle, and the Arctic Circle south to the current Tropic of Cancer. So what's in between those two lines? That would be the question, because you have the Arctic zone and you have the tropic zone. What would happen is the sun would hang in the sky for a year and disappear for another half year. This would make the poles become frozen in the winters, turning the water into water vapor in the air, or it would totally leave, which would mean no water to irrigate our land anymore. So basically what would happen is the 4 seasons would change, our vegetation would decline because most of our vegetation is grown in the temperate zones. Also, most of the water that irrigates our land comes from the poles. So what would happen is, because of the sun, the change in the rotation would freeze completely the poles for the winter, making no water to irrigate our land. Just a small change, 23.5 to 25. So when the energy is off a little bit, even in your body or the earth itself and nature, everything suffers as a result. We see that as a manifestation of these beta males. You have some that are straight up beta males. They walk effeminate, they act like females. And you have these fake tough guys who are even worse because they think that they're alphas, but they're really like betas. But if you care about what another grown man posts on Facebook, who's not in your family, not your friend, you don't even know the dude, if you're worried about another man's sex life, if you're worried about what another man does on his own time, you're fucking gay. You're a beta bitch. You're not alpha. You're like a woman. You know what women do when they sit around? I'm just being straight. Old women do this. Girls do this. They talk about people. They talk about what the fuck other people are doing. The old women talk about their families. The teenage girls talk about guys that they like in school and the societal hierarchy in school, the popular kids, whatever. The women talk about their kids. So if you're a dude, you're worried about another man, you're talking about people, you're like a bitch. And we need women to nurture people. We need women in the world. I'm not knocking women, but we don't need the men acting like women. The men are supposed to be more logical, more pragmatic. They're supposed to be focused on themselves. See, back in the day, the man would go hunt. The woman would stay home. I'm not saying that's how it should be. I'm just telling you how it was. When the man was hunting, he was supposed to be able to decompartmentalize his thoughts. Whether it was hot, cold, rain, snow, sleet, he was focused on getting the food. He wasn't worried about who his neighbor's fucking or what he was eating or what his favorite food was. He was worried about catching that meat, bringing it home and eating the fucker. That's how a man's supposed to be. A man's supposed to be focused on his purpose, what he has to do to better himself, and then give back to society when he gets to the point where he wants to get. Give back to others. But you can't give back to others until you help yourself. But basically, a man should be focused on his purpose. Whether it's to make the NFL, be the best musician, be a good businessman, be a preacher, be a prophet, whatever it is, focus on that. On your journey, focus on what you got to do to get better for yourself. If you're worried about other people, you're a bitch. Sorry to tell you.